Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my...
Good afternoon! Today is my Disneyland haul. I'm so excited to be able to show you guys what I got. I was under a pretty strict budget, but it wasn't really... I didn't really find too terribly much stuff that called to me, so I didn't leave Disneyland without anything that I didn't want. So I essentially bought everything I wanted. There was a big deal about we were there at the very end of Pixar Fest, and there was a lot of Pixar Fest that just wasn't there because we were there at the end, so that's sort of unfortunate, but what can you do? We did buy, or I bought a lot of good things, or I feel like I did, so I want to show it to you. So first, some little things. I got a Disneyland Pixar Fest like flyer with the dates that we were there. So this is a kind of a reminder when we were there. Also, it was the first annual Pixar Fest, so this will say that I was there very first year. I was pretty excited for that. And these are free, so that's wasn't that big of a deal anyway. I got a Pixar Fest food guide. These were also free. I feel like I got it when I ordered food. It was tossed on my tray, so it was just all the different like specialty foods that you could get and where to get them, and then you could check them off. Like when you got them, you could, there's a box that you can check to be like, I did indeed eat that alien macaroon. We didn't really eat any specialty food, not that I know of anyway. Well, we did have the root beer float in Andy's boot, which I will show you here in a little bit. So yeah, pretty exciting. The other like last little freebie thing that I know of, I got this, which is a Jungle Cruise ride map. These are free. You can get off the boat and ask any of the cast members for one. Funny story with this one. We got this, we rode it twice, or I rode it twice, and I didn't record either one. So the very first time we rode it, the skipper was not that great. Anyone who's ridden Jungle Cruise knows that it's the skipper that makes or breaks the ride. The ride, the jokes, the puns, all that stuff, it's the same. The skipper tells variations of the same jokes. It's the delivery of those jokes from the skipper that makes it great, or terribly wrong kind of thing. The very first skipper we had, she just sort of, I don't know, she was panicky and weird, and it was strange. So I didn't record it because I was like, this isn't all that great. So we rode it again at night, and it was kind of a really last second thing. I forgot my camera, and this girl killed it. She did such a good job. And what I didn't realize is apparently these jokes are approved through Disney. And I guess if I would have thought about it, that makes sense. So Disneyland's version of Jungle Cruise is actually different than Disney World. So the indoor cave stuff that's in Disney World doesn't exist in Disneyland. Disneyland has piranhas and Disney World doesn't. So we got to the hippos, and our skipper said something about how dangerous the hippos were, and don't worry, she'll scare them away like she scared away her ex-boyfriend. So she put the mic down and she screams, like literally screams. So she goes, I love you, we'll be together forever, and the whole boat started just dying laughing. And then she's on the mic going, it works every time. And then we kept going like deadpan, like she didn't just scream that. The whole boat started laughing. So when we got off the boat to ask for the map, the cast member asked what our favorite animal was on the trip as like a payment, because we had to do that in order to get the map. And somebody must have misunderstood what he was asking, because they were going in about how funny this joke was, and that was their favorite joke of the thing. And he goes, "Oh, you mean the unauthorized joke that she's telling everybody?" And we were like, "Oh, please don't get her in trouble. That was really funny. Like, let her keep telling that joke. That was the best joke I've ever heard in my life." So it kind of dawned on me then that it made sense that Disney has authorized and unauthorized jokes, and that's why they're so, like, those jokes are all the same with just a little teeny tiny variance, you know, from skipper to skipper in their delivery, because those are the approved jokes. And her absolute hilarious, never ever heard it before joke was completely and utterly unauthorized. So good on you. I believe her name was Skipper Kim. That made my day 100%, and definitely worth going back and getting a map, because we only got one at the time, and we went back and got several more because she made that ride. Because anyone knows that you can have an amazing Jungle Cruise experience and you can have a terrible Jungle Cruise experience, and she made it absolutely worth it. So I got a map to remember that one for as long as I can remember it. That was the best one ever. I guess real quick, in case people want to see some, we do autographs. So we went to Plaza Inn for breakfast and met several characters. Chip, Captain Hook, well, I didn't meet Chip, I was gone, but Chip came through the table. Dale, Rafiki, you know, several. So we just got a lot. So there's Chip, Captain Hook, I believe that's Captain Hook, yep. Rafiki, Tigger, oh, there's Dale. And then I met Captain America again. He signed both my book and my ears. And then oh, I was like, what in the world? That's Cruella de Vil signature, I do believe. Took me a second. Yeah, and that's all we got. We didn't do too terribly many like character experiences. The Disney World, we had a ton, so we had just a handful, and most of them were at the Plaza Inn character breakfast experience. We did do Smash Pennies. I won't show them all to you, but I've got, you know, a handful. I did do a quarter. There are things like pirates. I have a Mickey pirate, and then I have a Sorcerer Mickey penny. The one thing I will say about the Disneyland is they are very Sorcerer Mickey centric, and I love that a ton, because Disney World, he's a rare character. He's hardly anywhere. Disneyland, he's all over the place because he's centralized there, and that's a really fantastic thing. For Disney World, every time we saw Sorcerer Mickey anything, we were like, get it! We gotta get it! Oh, a penny! Huh, huh. Disneyland, we were just like, oh, there he is again! What? This is awesome! Like, that's kind of the thought process that we had at Disneyland, because he was just all over the place. Okay, so that's the kind of the end of the little freebie or really cheapy ones. Now we're gonna get into this bag. So first thing I just grab out of here is Woody's cowboy boot. So this was actually a root beer float, which I got on the side so I didn't have to get anything, like get it all dirty. It's cute, it's plastic, and it actually has Andy's name on the bottom, just like it would on the bottom of Woody, on the bottom of Woody's actual boot, you know. So it's got cactus on the side, you know, it's Woody's cowboy boot. So I think this is really neat. What I'm gonna do with it, I don't know, but for whatever, like, I was determined to get it. I saw it on a vlog that I watched and was like, must have. So got it. Success. I don't remember, I didn't do a very good job with keeping prices. We'll say the cup itself was probably $6-8. I mean, I probably spent $12 altogether on the root beer float plus the boot. Okay, so I have a little bag that was hidden in the big bag. This was given to me by Jessie. It goes back to our middle school days where we had all sorts of BFF everythings. So, BFF key necklace. I'll probably hang that in my rear mirror in my car so it's with me all the time, because I spend a crazy amount of time in the car. We didn't do much with the pin trading. Disneyland doesn't do much with pin trading. We tried a couple different times, and the pins that the cast members have are all pretty much the same. They were pins we already had. They do a lot of pin boards, and pin boards are notorious for having like crummy pins because everyone can pick over them. So I bought pins, or at least a few, and that was mostly to commemorate certain rides that Disneyland has that Disney World doesn't. So the first one is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride pin. So it's Mr. Toad's Taxi, but it's still commemorating that ride. This one, so it's Toad's Taxi Service, and it was $12.99. And since I'm not an annual pass at this park, I didn't get any discounts. Fares to Here and There and Nowhere in Particular, which made that pretty funny. Flat rates, wild rides, Toad's Taxi Service. Because Mr. Toad's Wild Ride doesn't exist in Disney World. The next one is this one, which is Sleeping Beauty Castle with the Mickey balloons in an up sort of style. I was just really drawn to this one, both for the castle and the balloons, because who doesn't like the Mickey balloons? I don't have a Sleeping Beauty Castle pin, so that kind of two birds one stone. Also, I liked the up, aspect of it. We took a picture at the up wall, so it just sort of covered a ton of different bases. This one was also $12.99. So this just covered a lot of different aspects of the memories that we had. So we saw a bunch of Mickey balloons because they're everywhere. The the Sleeping Beauty Castle, the up wall. It was just really neat. The strings are connecting the balloons in the castle. Like, it's just a very well done pin. And then, of course, this one, a Fantasmic pin, and it's a spinner on top of that. So it's got Sorcerer Mickey hat, Maleficent's dragon, and the word, like the spinner part says Fantasmic. This show was amazing. We saw it twice and it was absolutely fantastic. If it could be incorporated somehow into Disney World, this show was better at Disneyland than Disney World. And that's hard for me to say because I love the Disney World version as well. But Sorcerer Mickey is in the whole thing, not just a couple pieces of it. It was really cool. This one's also $12.99. All three of those pins were $12.99. So this was just really neat to be able, I almost bought a shirt, but it was like a solid piece of vinyl on the front, and it was just going to be way too hot to wear it. Way too hot. Let's see. I don't know where the receipt for it went, but I bought this. So the Disneyland music was so wonderful that I decided I needed a CD to go with it. I was hoping to get certain park music. I wanted the new Fantasmic music, and that's not actually what's on here. But there is a lot of really good music on this one. It is 3 discs, and there are just wonderful music on here. So it does open up. It's three discs. Disneyland Park, and then there's 2 Disneyland parks, and then there's a Disney California Adventure Park. So there's a lot of, like, all of the attraction ride music, and then it has the Main Street Electrical Parade. I thought I had Paint the Night on here somewhere. It has the old Fantasmic music. I wanted Paint the Night music, and I wanted the new Fantasmic, and I think it's the non-Pixar Electrical Parade music, and it's got the old Fantasmic, but it'll be okay. Like, it's got a lot of really good stuff on here. I think this was $36.99, something like that, and I bought it off the page, which is it's in California Adventure by the Animator Studio. It's the gift shop next to the Animator Studio place. Okay, another little bag in the bag. Let's see what's in here. Another pin. Okay. Oh, I got the, so there were like 3 pins, I think, that came out. Either one of the days that we were there, or like the day before or something. I had to get one of them because it was adorable. So this is the Dumbo limited release pin, and it opens. So there's Dumbo and his mom, and then Timothy's trying to talk him out of the hay on the other side. So it opens. It's a limited edition, like, the Monsters University one was already sold out, and I feel like there was another one, but I got the Dumbo one because it was pretty cute. And it was $16.99, and I got that at World of Disney. Yeah, World of Disney. Okay. Oh, I forgot the freebie things. I haven't even opened them yet. So we got a like vacation package through the Portofino, or Anaheim Portofino Hotel or Suites, Inn & Suites. And because we bought vacation package through them, we got like freebie stuff. So the first thing that we got is a luggage tag. So a Mickey Mini luggage tag for Disneyland. It does come with the strap. And then we got Disneyland like lanyard with a pouch to keep your ticket in, and a Disneyland pin. And these were free, or if you want to say free, because we purchased them. We got them free with the purchase of our vacation package. I forgot those were in there. We went to the City Hall in we went to the City Hall in Magic Kingdom to get our buttons. So they were our first visit button. When technically this is my second one, but I really don't remember the first visit. And then we were celebrating the Pixar Fest. And then my 2018 at the top of this one rubbed off, but I have 2018 at the top of that one. The buttons are, I'm gonna say, important to a point, because the cast members are trained to look for these, and they are trained to acknowledge the buttons. So if you are celebrating a birthday or your first visit, or celebrating like an anniversary or an engagement or something, get the buttons, because they are trained to look for those and they'll acknowledge you. We actually had a really good, I guess it'd be Citizen of Hollywood experience in Disney California Adventure because, well, I think we would have had it anyway, but she stopped us because we were wearing Monster Ears and our Monster University shirt, and she knew my name already because my name was on the button, so she knew to look for the buttons, and then she asked the rest of our names. So we had a really good experience with that, but she was trained to look for the buttons, and then she was pushing, like as soon as she saw the first button, she wanted to know if anyone else needed a button and what was going on, and definitely get your buttons. So they really push these because they're trained to look for them. And I feel like it enhances your experience a little bit because some of them might go out of their way a little bit to make your visit a little bit more magical if you've got your button on. Okay, so the next thing, I got a keychain, and this was a bit sentimental, I think, because the keychain is this. So it's the castle, and then on the other side is this. And for any of you who have ever been to any of the parks, this is what's on the plaque when you go into Magic Kingdom. This is a quote from Walt Disney, and I love this. This is something important to me, I guess, because it's in a plaque above the entry in both Disneyland and Disney World. It is present in both parks. You read it as you walk in. There's so many possibilities with this, and when I see this, it makes me think Disney. It just means a lot to me, and when I saw it, I had to have it, and I'm glad that I have it because I feel like now I have a piece of history and I have a piece of the park, and in this case I have a piece of both parks. I believe that one was $9.99, so I ended up getting a magnet. This was an incredibly last second buy. It was one of those impulse things stuck to the queue line. By this point I hadn't gotten anything that had the date and the park name on it, so I thought, why not? I'm gonna stick this to the refrigerator. It's Mickey Mouse 2018 Disneyland Resort. So it has a lot of neat things in like the background. It has an orange bird, which I don't know why. To me, I associate that with Disney World, not necessarily Disneyland, but yeah, so I mean, it's just got, you know, Adventure, Dumbo, Haunted Mansion. That was a big one because I like them. Haunted Mansion is my favorite. It's just got so many good things. Tomorrowland poster. So I was like, 2018 Disneyland Resort. I now have my year and my park. So done, because I hadn't bought my shirt yet, and my shirt was like originally going to say the date and the resort, and thankfully I got this because my shirt actually doesn't say the date, but this was $9.99 as well. So one of the last, well, I'll do this little thing first. This was actually given to me by a really wonderful person. She subscribes to Jessie's channel, and Jessie and her name's Tanya, agreed or set up to meet at Disneyland, and that was for them kind of thing, and we were just kind of along for the ride. And she was a super sweet, nice person. Got to meet her husband, her little ones, and we got to hang out with her for an hour in the first day, and then she actually got to hang out with us for a little bit longer on a different day, and she brought me this because we got to talking, and she remembered that I mentioned that Hercules was my favorite, and she went home and she found this for me, which just floors me that she took time to do that. So thank you so very much, and I was afraid I was going to lose it because it was little, but I threw it into the Woody's boot so I didn't lose it. And it is now a cherished part of my collection, so thank you. I love this thing. Thank you so much. This meant quite a bit to me. So there are 2 things left. This is the shirt that I bought, which was $24.99. So I really like the sort of luggage sticker look to it. It does say Disneyland. It's got kind of the luggage stamps or stickers for all the parks, a lot of the rides, most of my favorite rides, and it's a good color, you know, all of those. I was really jealous, like, to see Jessie got a lot of those stickers for her Magic at Your Door unboxing, and that's what these remind me of, is all of like those kind of stickers. And I love that kind of stuff, and that's exactly what I bought for this shirt. So I will wear this a lot because I'm so excited to be able to do that. And I sacrificed the date because I just love the pattern so much. So again, $24.99. My biggest thing that I got, also the last thing I got, a bit of a story with it. I'll show it to you here. It is my most expensive. It's also the only fragile thing I got, and it broke on the way home, so I had to pay yet again to get it fixed. So we went to downtown Disney a couple different times, and passing the kiosk that was over near World of Disney, I mentioned a few different times that I wanted to stop and look and check prices to see how much something like this would cost me. And at one point, I think we'd walked past it maybe the 3rd or 4th time, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm doing it. And I did, and I don't regret a thing. So I got this painting, and this obviously is my name. So I've got Jack, and then to finish my N, there's a pineapple, the castle, Belle, and then the rest of my K, Prince Philip, and Hercules. And then I went ahead and had them frame and mat it, so there's a matching mat and the custom frame. I carried this on to the plane. We had 2 plane rides. Both of them were to capacity, and they encouraged everybody to put anything that they could underneath the seat. Like, if it fit under the seat, put it under the seat, which means this went under the seat. Now, my very first flight was fine. It was my very last flight that either it shifted, because it's not, you know, obviously it's not very thick or anything. And if you've ever seen under, like, looked under the seat, there's only like a plastic strip that's maybe like 1 inch or something above the ground that keeps your backpack from sliding into the foot space of the person in front of you. So this either slid forward underneath that, and the person in front of me put her heel down into the corner of my picture, which I'll insert a picture of what it looked like before I got it fixed in here. And either she put her heel down and broke it, or I shifted in my sleep and put my heel down and I broke my own picture. Either way, incredibly upsetting. When I got off the plane and I picked the bag up, the sound of crinkling glass was kind of heartbreaking. So I had to get this fixed, and I will tell you where I got it and how much. So it was Cayman's Art Shop's letterbrush art. It cost me, let's see, where was it? It doesn't have the breakdown, but it was $95.89 for all of it. The frame and the matting actually cost the most, which is why I was so upset that it broke, because then I had to turn around and pay for it again. But that's where Michael's to the rescue. Michael's has custom framing, and I had them cut some glass, and they are the ones that fixed it. So I had them put preservation glass, which is why there was almost no glare on the glass, because it cuts down on glare. I had them white glove, so I had them professionally seal it. So I actually can't get in here anymore. So there's no reason for me to get into it anymore. So it is professionally sealed. And what I took that to mean is the picture itself isn't touching anything. So there's no reason for there to be a weird chemical reaction with the frame and my picture years down the road. Nothing can get in to cause a chemical reaction. The glass will preserve the color and the glitter, because it is glitter paint, stuff like that. So the frame was, let's see, $38, and then the white glove or whatever custom sealing was like $6. So I paid $48 or $41.48. So pretty much probably the cost that I paid at Disney for the frame and the glass and the custom matting, I paid for just the glass at Michael's. So I essentially paid for it twice, but in the end it was fine. The only like annoying part, so as you can see, they're face characters. I couldn't do, they told me I couldn't do Mickey and Friends, so I couldn't do Pluto or Sorcerer, and I also couldn't do any villains. It was only people like this, which was fine, but it made me really regret not having a longer name, because I would have liked Megra, I would have liked Beast. I wanted a dragon, but I didn't have any curvy letters. He advised me that they were better for like C's and stuff like that, which I don't have in my name. So if I ever have a chance, maybe I'll do my last name, you know, which is a little, not quite, it's not longer, but it's a little curvier, and maybe have, you know, get more people, because it's 5 more letters for 5 more people. But yeah, so that's my favorite out of my collection is the painting, and I'm gonna put it up now that I have it fixed. I just got it fixed a couple weeks ago. I was pretty devastated when it broke. So the painting is my favorite of my items. The shirt and the CD are probably my next ones. I don't really, or of the things I've purchased, those are my top 3. I don't really, like, you can't really put a price on some of this stuff because they're memories, and I'll cherish those forever. But let me know what your favorite item in the haul was. I know that it wasn't very much, but what I got meant something to me. They didn't have, I don't know, we didn't really shop all that much. We did a bunch of stuff. We didn't really shop too terribly much. But I am so happy for the stuff that I did get, and I hope you did too. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I bought, and definitely let me know what you like. If you've been to Disneyland or even Disney World, doesn't matter. Let me know what your favorite collection item is. What kind of things do you like to collect? What's the favorite thing that you have currently in your collection? You know, let me know. I'm always out for ideas for something that I need too, or like need to add to my collection, or maybe it's just something I want. Who knows? But yeah, let me know. I think that's it. So be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you have a good day. See you later. Bye.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete?